Is that normal? Okay, I don't think I should be trusted with that information, Idris. Okay, because there was a picture a couple weeks ago where we saw a picture of him in a t-shirt. He was wearing a t-shirt and jeans, and it was just a photograph. It was not anything other than that. And it made hardcore pornography pale in comparison. It just was like, here's Idris in a t-shirt, and it just was like, oh my God. I was having that moment of I don't know if I can handle this much hotness all in one spot. You have those moments where you just, you don't know what you're going to do with yourself. You may be a middle-aged man, but inside you're a 14-year-old girl who wants to scream at the Beatles. You know, it's like, here we go. I'm gonna, it's Ed Sullivan, it's 1964, and I'm gonna scream, here we go. It's just crazy.
Get ready for 3 hours of fruity goodness that's 99% fact-free.
There's not much here, Batman.
It's the Frank DeCARO Show, featuring Doria Biddle, live from New York and Los Angeles.
Oh, it's wonderful. All right, it's Frank DeCARO, and I'm live in Los Angeles, not 5 feet away from the lovely Miss Doria Biddle. Coming up on our show, Gonzo's in New York, I should say that, bringing us together and out to you via the Magic Satellite Radio, Sirius XM out to you. Oh, yes, oh, yes. And coming up on our show, Mike Mendez is going to join us talking about the new movie, Big Ass Spider. It just got its DVD and Blu-ray release, and it's burning up the Twitterverse, and I'm very excited to talk to him about it, so that'll be very, very fun, and that'll be good. How are you, Miss B? How you
I'm
doing?
just peachy. And you?
Well, I'm good. I'm still under the weather, but I'm perky today. A little perkier. Working on it. Didn't want to get up this morning, though. It was very Thursday. Didn't you have that feeling this morning?
It'll be Friday soon.
I know, but it was,
and then it will be Saturday.
When that alarm went off at 5:45, it was very much that you're putting me on. You know, if that feeling.
I actually woke up to the alarm today, which is
Oh, that's crazy for you. Yeah, no, it's very Thursday. And you know, they always say, oh, Thursday's the worst day on the road. There's nobody out today. Did you have that feeling? There was nobody on the road. No one was bugging me. I was like, what, is everyone home having toast? You know, they're having toast and we're doing a radio show. What the hell's that about? And I dropped half my banana. Did you see that? I had to do the 5-second rule. It's very disturbing.
Frank is eating food off the floor.
Right?
He dropped a peeled banana.
I dropped a large peeled piece of banana. And then I was like, well, this studio
on this floor.
But it's fairly new, though. This you have to admit. I wouldn't have done in New York, in the studio in New York. I wouldn't have done.
God only knows what's gone on.
Well, I know. I may
already.
have.
There's a reason they put the curtains up.
I might have gonorrhea on my banana.
And it's not. They didn't just put the curtains up because you look at porn and put it up on the display for the world to see.
Shouldn't do that anymore. I got yelled at for that. But yeah, well, not yelled at. Someone came in and said, please. Do you realize that we can see in the lobby?
The rest of the lobby is looking at.
And then he said, "Are all men that large in gay porn?" And I was like, "Yes, they are. Every one of them has trips over there on Schwartz."
Are they larger in gay porn than they are?
Oh, I don't know.
Porn?
I just said that. Don't pick up on that. I wouldn't go.
That
there.
would make sense.
Yeah, because guys are dopey.
Because that's in straight porn. That's not what they're looking at necessarily.
That's true. No,
I mean, some of them are. But then
they should only use really weensy teensy ones in straight porn, so that the guys would be, well, I'm so much bigger than him, and he's a porn star. You know, that would be better. But in gay ones, it's good because you look and say, oh my God, I'll never be able to compete. That's what the reaction you're going for when you watch gay porn. Now, speaking of the prodigiously endowed. We went to see, didn't think I was going this way with it, did you? We went to see.
I had no idea where you were going.
We went to HBO last night, and there was a screening. They showed the pilot of a new show called The Leftovers, which is coming in the next few months, I think, in the first half of the year. So anyway, it's The Leftovers, and you see a gentleman, a rather hirsutish gentleman, swarthy gentleman, and I didn't recognize him because I've never paid attention to Justin Theroux other in Arm Candy for Jennifer Aniston, but I do now.
Mulholland Drive.
I didn't see that. So
you didn't see that?
No, I bought it and then I never watched it. No, I just have it home.
Mr. I Love David Lynch, you didn't watch?
Yeah, I never watched it. I still love him. Movie. I want to buy his coffee now that he has David Lynch coffee. I'd like
you love the idea.
I'd like to drink David Lynch more than sit and watch his movie. But anyway, so I didn't know anything about Justin Theroux other than Arm Candy, and but he's seen jogging Doria in sweats and maybe something he does in real life too. He seems to favor the commando route when jogging in sweatpants, and it was, let's put it this way. I want to be clean about this. it was a very good character choice. I felt like it was all I needed to know about this police chief, is that he's a fellow who jogs commando.
Well, you stopped paying attention after
No,
that.
no, I started paying attention after that. I now Justin Theroux in sweatpants is now my favorite thing ever. Okay, it's you know.
What if
Idris
it was
Elba in
Idris
a
Elba in
t-shirt.
sweatpants?
I was saying Idris Elba in a t-shirt out, Justin Theroux in sweatpants in. Okay, that's this week's flavor. You know, just so he wanted
What about
to
Idris Elba in sweatpants?
If he goes commando, we'll talk. But no, this was very. He had his wangada moment, and it whapped all over the place, and it was just like this.
Did you
is
lean
the
over and
best.
say something to Jim at that
Yes,
point?
I leaned over.
Of course.
Of course I did. I leaned over and I said, "What he's doing to those sweatpants is criminal, especially for a cop." Okay, yeah. I was like, "Woof." Okay, woof and woof. So that's like when you first meet him.
Is this during the opening credits?
No, but it's close. It's the first moment I paid attention to. I don't know how far into it we were, but
It's
it was
like the
snapped
movie,
to attention.
Iris, in which the opening credits roll over Kate Winslet skinny dipping. And I leaned over to my friend and said, I like it already.
How could you not? You know, yeah. That's what I thought. I was like, well, you had me. Yeah, or Wangada Wangada. This had me at Wangada Wangada. And I was like, this is good. But it ended up being really good. And the gist of it, it's got Liv Tyler and Amy Brenneman and some other folks in it. And but Justin Theroux is kind of the lead. And it is a new series, and it's kind of like it's the Rapture. It's a post-Rapture kind of series. It's like people just kind of, well, we don't know where we're going, but we're gone. And it's a suburban community called Mapleton. And so a bunch of people they're just gone one day, and so they're having to deal with it, and it's 3 years on in this in the pilot. It's been 3 years since that happened, and there's a cult that's arisen of people who don't speak and all they do is smoke. Okay, they smoke, Doria, and I don't quite know why, but they're called the Guilty Remnants, and they are they smoke, and they say it's a sign of their faith that they smoke. So they're constantly chain smoking, and wearing all white and not speaking. They write things down. So that was fun, and there's a teen party in it where the kids and they play Spin the iPhone, which is now I don't know if this is real if they have a Spin the iPhone, but some of the choices were like kiss, choke, fuck. Fuck was one of them. So you have to be like, well, I'll have to go off in the other room now and make nick. You know, I don't know. I didn't get invited to those parties in high school. You know, we
I did.
did. Did you go?
And I brought my iPhone.
But they all said choke, didn't they? Every one of them said choke. It was she had it rigged. It was like loaded dice. Every time they spun it, it came up to her. It was like, get to choke somebody else. No, but it was just, I never went, Gonzo, you're younger than I am. Did you ever get invited to parties like that in high school where people would you know, I mean, when we had 7 minutes in heaven in the closet, it really was seven, you know, that was it. You were just making kissy face, you know, and a little grope maybe.
In high school, no.
Yeah.
Like 7th and 8th grade, we did the spin the bottle, 7 minutes in heaven. In high school, we just hooked up. That's it.
You really, what year did you start hooking up in high school?
Right away.
These are personal
I just want to
questions,
know. I'd like to know. When do people start? Do they?
As soon as I was allowed.
Allowed. Okay. So, son, today you're allowed to hook up. Okay, and you went and did.
That's not the way it works. When the lady says it's okay, you go.
Okay, yeah, I guess is that how it works, Doria? Can when the lady says
Girls are in charge.
I know. Well, that's true. You know, and guys just always want to do it. So there's especially until they've seen it. You know, they're like, all right, now I've seen it. I don't have to do it anymore. But this Justin Theroux, I'm telling you, it was a wonderful, it was a wonderful eye-opening experience, and I liked it a lot. I have to say that the Leftovers, I was sort of like, if you liked Under the Dome and you liked The Following, or you like both of those, and you want something that's darker and more sophisticated, this would work for you. You know,
And well done.
well done. It's not. It was sort of like those other two without the dopey,
Without
without the stupid.
the other two, but HBO, not network.
So I thought it was really quite good, and you just. But the only problem is when you get to see this, and now you're like, well, how many months do I have to wait before I find out what's the next part? You know, it was
What
very.
did they not tell you?
Well, no, they said it was like the first half of the year, but it's sort of like, well, if it's the first half of the, it's sort of like, I don't know if I can wait that much longer. Could you send over, like, like now the episodes is starting on Showtime, but they sent over yesterday. I got the first 5 episodes, and I was like, oh, so now we can binge watch.
Don't
episodes.
they have like 6 episodes?
I don't know, but they sent 5 over, so we were just like, ooh, goody. So Jim and I were very excited because we love that show. Makes us laugh. But with this, The Leftovers was so intriguing that I was like, wait a minute, I want more. You can't do this to me. You can't just show me one and now tease me and taunt me. So that was that one. And then the other thing that they showed 2 episodes of a show called Silicon Valley, which is Mike Judge created it. Now Mike Judge is Beavis and Butthead, right? I mean, that's where we know Mike Judge from. Yes, Mike Judge. So anyway, it was really quite wonderful. And it's a sitcom, sort of. It's not a sitcom. The sitcom is wrong. It's a satire of the .com, of the Silicon Valley thing, and it was really quite funny. I was digging it big time, and at first I thought, oh, this is so not my thing, because it's not, but I'm not a Silicon Valley kind of guy. I'm sort of, Jim still teases me because I said. He said, well, what kind of computer do you want? And I said, I want it in black. This was before all computers were gray or black. When they used to all be that awful beige, when Jim and I first met 17, 18 years ago, it was I said, I want a computer. And about these things. I said, black would be good, and apparently that's not the way you buy a computer. I still don't know any different. But my I'm going to call him my buddy now, even though he's not really my buddy, but we did the Upright Citizens Brigade ASSCAT show together. Zach Woods, who was so good on The Office, he's in it, and he's very, very funny. And T.J. Miller, who's done our show, remember T.J. Miller? Bushy hair, and was very funny. And he's quite good in it as well. Everyone was really quite good. But he was the kid from Cloverfield, came out and did our show. Remember when Cloverfield was all the rage? Mm-hmm. And we all bought it, and we didn't watch it. Yeah, I didn't watch it either. Anyway, but and I paid for that one. But anyway, so T.J. Miller is in it as well. A lot of cool people, and it's very sharply written, and I was tickled. But here's the best thing, Doria. So we're seeing The Leftovers. We're seeing 2 episodes of Silicon Valley, and and it was good because they had pizza and Caesar salad. Right now, I don't eat pizza anymore because of the cheese. So I just sit and eat my chicken Caesar, and I'm having a nice time. But on the tables, they had those boxes of theater candy, like movie candy, and they had Juji fruits on my table.
They had what?
Juji fruits. Do you know how much I like Juji fruits? I love Juji. You're looking at me like you never heard of Juji fruits. Juji fruits.
What are
Juji fruits? Those little hard. They're like harder than a Swedish fish, but that gummy kind of pectiny sort of
very
thing.
hard.
No, but they're the same kind of jelly thing, but harder. Okay. And they have every 6th one is anise flavor, which is they have little black ones, which I dumped it all out and started pulling all the black ones out, which Jim finds disgusting. But it was just, I love. I never confessed this to you before. I like a Juji fruit. A lot. I like the Juji fruit. And it was good. They had that, and they had Reese's Pieces, and they had Jim grabbed the Whoppers. Nice, first. He's got his big box of Whoppers. So, but just at the end, this is the rub. Just at the end of the thing, we're standing there, and they're cleaning off the tables and the whole thing. And I look, and I'm talking to the publicist for HBO because I've known him for years, and yakking and the whole thing. And I see out of the corner of my eye is a box of Good and Plenty. Okay, like a big ass box of Good and Plenty on a table, and there's no one sitting at the table anymore, Doria. And there's this unopened box of Good and Plenty. And just as I was about to pounce on the Good and Plenty, because I didn't want to, in mid-sentence when the publicist is telling you about Justin Theroux and his going commando,
I've seen you in circumstances like this. So somebody was talking to you.
I was trying hard to pay attention.
But you weren't. Because you can't.
I was giving him about 40% attention.
Physically and mentally incapable of not just staring at something, almost focusing all your energy to willing that box to stay where it is until you have a chance to grab it.
I was trying to get it to move off the table and into my breast pocket of my jacket. Yeah, I would just sneak into my suit.
And
coat.
what happened?
Some guy came over, right? I looked away and I was paying attention to what the woman was saying, which teaches you whether to pay attention or not. And I looked back and he had my Good and Plenty, Doria. And I didn't.
It wasn't your good and
It
plenty.
wasn't his good and plenty either, Doria. So I wanted that.
It was its own good and plenty.
It was, but there's no way he was appreciating that good and plenty as much as I would have. I would have caressed it all
How
the
do
way
you know?
back to Sherman because I would have touched it. Oh, look at you, how nice you are.
No,
this
you
big
would have
box.
eaten it before you got in the car.
No, it would have behaved. Oh, it was
No, you
so
wouldn't
beautiful. Well, good and plenty wants
been
to,
gone.
it wants to be eaten, Doria. It does that. Good and plenty. You can't eat that, and good and plenty you can't eat that much of. I keep it in the medicine cabinet. Though. It looks good like it looks like pills, because they're the shape of them. So I have because I have once in a while there'll be a promo, like when Die Mommy Die came out, there was a pill bottle, and when they put the DVD release of Valley of the Dolls, that came with a pill bottle. So I have a little Neely O'Hara pill bottle, which I need something in it, so I put Good and Plenty in it. So it was very cute. So you always have some Good and Plenty in the medicine cabinet, but it was very fun. So anyway, it was very grooveless. Now when we return to the Frank Show, we're going to talk about Big Ass Spider with the director, Mike Mendez. And we're going to I'm excited about it because there was a big Twitter story yesterday that Walmart is scared of Mike Mendez's ass. So we'll find out what that means when we return to the Frank Show here on Sirius XM OutQ.
I'm Pat McKay. I put together all of the music that you hear on The Joint. You can check me out weekday mornings. The Joint is our 24-hour reggae channel. This channel is very authentic. I was raised in Jamaica, so my relationship with this music is a part of me. When I put together a day of music, I'm looking for music that's positive. It should be good company. When you need some real reggae, check us out on The Joint, Channel 42, and on the Sirius XM app.
The gentleman that I worked with always looked good and always had on a crisp, clean shirt. So I asked him one day where he ordered his shirts from, and he mentioned Paul Frederick.
Now you too can own the classic Paul Frederick white pinpoint Oxford dress shirt, regularly $59.50. Today they're making them available at the exclusive introductory price of just $19.95 when you visit paulfrederick.com/exclusive.
The reason I wear Paul Frederick shirts because I believe they make a statement. You look sharp, you look clean, it makes an impression.
Choose from 6 collar styles, button or French cuffs, with a wide range of sleeve lengths and collar sizes. Paul Frederick has the perfect fit for you, including big and tall or trim fit options.
Everything fit just like my custom-made shirts for better value, and I switched.
Order today and they'll personalize your shirt with free custom monogramming, a $10.95 value. To get your white pinpoint Oxford dress shirts at the exclusive introductory price of just $19.95, visit paulfrederick.com/exclusive or call 1-800-309-6000. That's paulfrederick.com/exclusive.
Wix.com.
Hi, I used Wix.com to build a free website recently.
How's the site working for you?
With my new website, business is booming. How cool is that?
Very cool.
It is. I did it all by myself and I had no tech skills at all. I chose one of the many beautiful template designs available, created something totally original, and the drag and drop website builder made it fun and easy to use. My friend said, dude, nothing is totally free, but Wix is free, including hosting. I love you guys.
We love you too, sir.
Visit Wix.com. That's Wix.com.
From the Rainbow Flag Room to the Hollywood Fruit Bowl, it's the Frank DeCARO Show, live from New York City and L.A. on OutQ.
Yes, it's Frank DeCARO and Doria Biddle live in Los Angeles. Joining us here in the LA studio is the director of the film Big Ass Spider. Mike Mendez is with us. Mike, welcome to our show.
Woohoo! Happy to be here. Thanks for having me.
Congratulations. Yeah, the Twitterverse exploded this week with the release of Big Ass Spider, starring Greg Grunberg. And then the latest. Well, tell people about the movie, but then I have to, because the twist yesterday in the Big Ass Spider saga was tickling me a lot.
Well, Big Ass Spider is a film that, originally was kind of intended to be a TV movie, but, I had loftier aspirations, and, we made basically a giant insect attacks LA movie, and we gave it everything we had. Took 2 years to make it, and we were lucky enough to get into South by Southwest and then get a small theatrical, and now we just released this week on Blu-ray and DVD. So
what's the great joy of seeing a giant arachnid from another world attacking Los Angeles?
I don't know. It's a combination that it's kind of cool, but it's kind of retarded at the same time. You know it's equal things because spiders are cool creatures and they're actually kind of neat monsters and they're kind of neat movie monsters. But at the same time, it's such a ridiculous idea. And I grew up in LA, so I just kind of wanted to. I just like watching my city be destroyed. I don't know what that is about people, but that's why Roland Emmerich has a career. So
yeah, there is that. Yeah, it's funny because I'm trying to remember when I was a kid, there was a giant spider. I guess every era has a giant spider movie, right? Or there has to...
Sure. I mean, I think, God, I hope I'm not wrong here. I believe the first was Tarantula, and then we have Earth versus the Spider, and then I'm trying to think what came later after that, because then there were the small spider movies like Kingdom of the Spiders and stuff like that.
Oh, with William Shatner.
With William Shatner.
Oh, that was a good one. Yeah,
that was a good one. Yeah,
a good bad one.
Arachnophobia.
Arachnophobia.
Yes.
And then and then kind of just became the large spiders in big movies, i.e., is it Return of the King, I believe, and God, there was one with The Rock where they go to the island or something like that.
Oh yeah,
called.
no, the one I saw when I was a kid though, I remember it almost had like Harryhausen kind of stop motion looking spider thing. It was just, but it was this big. It just was a really bad spider movie, but it was. Right. But I remember it as if it were yesterday.
Well, they're cool, and that was one of the things we were trying with the effects was to kind of harken back to the Harryhausen feel, even though it's all CG. It was really important to me to kind of get that feel because there's something cooler about that. I think now everything looks so kind of digital and crappy and even though look, ours is digital and crappy too, but but hopefully it has a bit of a finish to kind of harken back to more classic movie monsters.
Well, I think sometimes though when something is attacking a city, you almost don't. You like that it's got a little cheese. There's a little cheese, a soupçon of cheese on top of it.
And you have to embrace it because it's not like I knew going in it was funny because I think the producers originally wanted to do something serious. Like how are you going to do this serious? And I think that's sort of the folly of a lot of the kind of like made for TV giant monster movies is that they actually try to approach this and ram this down your throat like this is really happening, and it's like no, let's. How would you react? I'd go, you're kidding me, and so I wanted to kind of have more fun with it and make it kind of a big joke.
We're talking to Mike Mendez, the director of Big Ass Spider, which dropped this week on, as the children say, on Blu-ray and DVD. Now, but you didn't want to make Sharknado either.
No. I mean, and nothing against Sharknado. I've seen it. Actually, is a pretty entertaining film. But my whole goal is that I actually really I live and breathe horror movies. I love them, and I think that a lot of these titles, particularly the ones that kind of aired on Sci-Fi Channel, they make a big promise. Like say Sharktopus or Sharknado or whatever, that this is a fun title. I want to be excited about a movie called Mega Shark versus Giant Octopus. But you see the movies and there's kind of only like 10 minutes of action, in the middle of 90 minutes of filler. And, I looked at this as an opportunity of like, no, I want to make the movie that I want to see when I hear a title like that. And so that was a really big thing for me to push onto the producers that I wanted to call it Big Ass Spider, and I wanted to kind of make that mission statement at the beginning that this is fun, silly nonsense, and so that was kind of the approach to make it different and just fun.
Well, there was a story wanting to call it Big Ass Spider. Yesterday, there was a story that was all over Twitter about apparently at Walmart it's not called Big Ass Spider.
Yes.
It's called Biggest Spider.
Biggest Spider.
But what was the headline?
Yes. The headline was Walmart fears Mike Mendez's ass.
Yeah.
Many do. Which was fun. But look, I mean, it's kind of an accomplishment for a small indie film. It's a $500,000 movie just to be in Walmart. So if that makes me, if I'm a sellout... for allowing them the est over the thing, so be it. But
it's graffitied over ass.
It's graffitied over it, and what's funny to me, I mean, and it's clearly for kids because right underneath it says AKA Big Ass Spider, and then it's a slipcover, and underneath it says Big Ass Spider. So overall, you get the Big Ass Spider product, but that's a lot of units to be in Walmart, so we'll take.
No, it's terrific, but I just thought it's also as from a publicist, if whoever's doing publicity. You got a whole other day out of stories based on
absolutely.
The Walmart
I didn't say anything about that, so it was kind of awesome that people picked up on it and started tweeting about it. So that was really cool.
So you are the go-to guy with horror movies. How did that become the thing that you love so much?
Well, I've been making movies since I was 10 years old. It just was kind of an innate passion. My family were film lovers. That's what we did, was go to movies and whatnot. And so it's always been, my brother went to film school. It's always been a thing in our family.
Who handed you a camera? Who was first to?
Well, my dad bought a video camera back in, like 1982 or something. And that was the big ones that you had to like have over your shoulder. You needed part of the VCR to record it. And so, we started making like stop motion movies with my toys. And then, to get out of like writing essays and stuff like that, you could also make like a small film or something in school every once in a while. So I would always do that. And I just love horror. I just, grew up, I think I owe my entire career to bad parenting skills because they would allow me to watch pretty much anything horror-wise. Not, it wasn't, they wouldn't throw on porn or anything like that. But as far as horror, like, I was absolutely weaned. I saw Carrie in the theater. I saw Halloween in the theater, Friday the 13th, and I was 6.
I was going to say, at a very impressionable age.
Yeah, I was 6, 7, stuff like that. And so Jaws, all of it. And so, and I don't even know if I loved being scared so much. I just kind of like the aesthetic of the macabre. It's just, and I have a feeling it's something that you're kind of born with. It's something you just kind of know about yourself. It's just like, no, I just love creepy things, so.
I was saying a minute ago about being the person who picks out all the black jelly beans first, and other people are like, ugh, they're disgusting. No, that's the best flavor.
Yeah, totally.
And you're like, doesn't make any sense. Why I like that better than, I just have old Italian man taste buds, I guess.
Right, exactly.
So you might have, Bela Lugosi's eyes or something.
That was the thing. I mean, even as a kid, even as far as I can remember, the toys I wanted were, Dracula and the Wolfman. I loved werewolves growing up, like The Howling and American Werewolf were like, my favorite films. So, so I don't know. It just kind of carried over to a point where I can't really get rid of it. It's just, so I kind of just embrace it.
What's funny, I collect toys, and when I go through the toy aisle, I've never bought a Monster High thing, because if I bought one thing, I'd have to have them all. If I was a little boy, I would have driven my parents crazy. They'd have been going, he wants dolls, and worse yet, he wants dolls that are horror, oriented things.
I get it completely. I'm a toy collector myself.
Yeah.
What do you collect?
I have a lot of Batman stuff.
Oh, nice.
A lot of Batman stuff.
Me too.
So,
did you get the giant Hot Toys Tim Burton Batmobile?
No.
Oh, it's amazing.
No, I have to look that. No, I don't have room. I have no room anymore. I have to stop. I was like, I'll just get the 60s Batman action figures, and I'll leave it at that.
I got those. Those are good.
Yeah, I got them for Christmas. I was very
Welcome to Geek Talk.
I know. It's with Mike Mendez and Frank DeCARO. So, what was the shoot like for Big Ass Spider?
It was very short. We did it in L.A. I mean, I like shooting in L.A. Mainly because it's home. I was born and raised here, and I know it so well, and I think it's the best cruise in the world. But the good thing is that when you make a movie small enough, the unions leave you alone. No one really gets in your way. So it's actually very easy to shoot here when you're under $1 million or whatever. So we shot mainly in downtown over 17 days. Being a native Los Angelino, it was important to me to really depict the city accurately. I didn't want it to be like, at the Cinerama Dome. I did want to have a scene where the spider has sex with the Cinerama Dome, but I didn't get to do that. But I wanted it
in the sequel, Big Ass Spider.
Yeah, hopefully. I wanted it to crush Hollywood and whatnot. But, in most movies, it'd be like in Hollywood and then on the Santa Monica Pier and then, all over, and I was kind of like, no, I want to, and I don't know why, for some reason, this is the only part of the movie that I wanted realism. Like, I wanted a realistic route of where would the big-ass spider go, so it basically kind of starts in Glendale, up to Elysian Park, then through downtown L.A., so it was a kind of a real path.
That's what drove me crazy about Falling Down. When Michael Douglas is walking from downtown to Santa Monica.
Yeah,
he jumps all over. He's in Hollywood, then he's back in Silver Lake.
It's one of those things. If you know LA well, you're kind of like, oh, this is terrible. So I don't know. So that was one thing I was specific of. Even though I really did want to destroy Hollywood, I was like, no, let's stick to downtown and kind of create a path that way. So.
Well, it makes sense. It's funny though. I had never noticed it until we moved here some months ago. It's because I was watching a travel thing on the plane, and I was watching this, and they're like, "Here's a great day in LA." I was like, "You drive that far in a day?" It's right. Like it was like first we're at the pier. Now we're going to go to brunch in Silver Lake. Now we're going to, it's like, no, you're not going to do that in a day. You're
No,
not going to
totally.
drive all over town. You're like, that's insane.
Absolutely.
Well, if you have out-of-town guests, yeah.
You might. But if you're a big-ass spider, no.
No,
You just wanna
big ass spider. You're just
take
gonna,
a good route.
You're gonna go where the most people are and the most food are, and just kind of make a day of it.
And it was I like Greg Grunberg a lot, and it's ever since Heroes, and stuff. What was he like to be to work with?
Greg is awesome. I mean, what a great human being. Not only just, I mean, because he really kind of sets the attitude on set. It's really, as I always say, it's like, everyone had the shooting title of the movie was Mega Spider, and everyone had the right to phone that in because they're working on a movie called Mega Spider. But Greg really kind of set the example in the bar for all the other actors how to behave. If Greg phoned it in, everyone else was going to phone it in. But Greg took it seriously, and Greg was really supportive and didn't seem to mind that this was a very low budget, small affair. And I think really, really brought his game to it. So not only that, not only can I speak so highly of how he is to work with and how professional and wonderful he is as an actor and how giving he is, but just a great human being in general. That he spends much of his time doing charities. He's a big spokesman for epilepsy, and has a charity on that, and he's got a band, and I think 2 charities and an app he created, and his best friend's J.J. Abrams. He's just a cool dude, dude's awesome, So we were super lucky, to get him, because usually on a film like this, you get someone who was kind of relevant maybe 20 years ago or something like that, someone who was on 90210 or something like that, which would have been fine, and that would have been great. But I was kind of more excited about getting someone who was actually kind of a little more contemporary, was on a show in the last 3-4 years, and so I felt like Greg was great. Plus, there's everyman relatability to him, because I really wanted to make the lead character a bit of a bumbling idiot, and he brought a bit of humanity to it. So you just like him. You just are rooting for this guy.
We're talking to Mike Mendes. He's the director of Big Ass Spider, which came out this week on DVD and Blu-ray, and I assume people can stream it in all the other ways.
Yes, iTunes and Amazon and all that kind of thing.
What was it like having Ray Wise in the movie, and what does he play? Who does he play?
Ray Wise plays Major Braxton, who is the military side of things, who is, ordered to destroy the big ass spider at all costs. So basically it's kind of a race between our exterminator and the government, who's going to get the spider before LA is destroyed. And so Ray Wise is great. I had worked with him once before on a short I did. I usually make kind of like little pitch reels to get my movies financed. So for one of the movies that didn't get financed, I had Ray Wise, and that's largely how we cast the movie. Was with such a low budget film, we didn't have luxurious things like casting directors or anything like that. So I had to really kind of cast it on just people that I knew or that were friends of friends, and so that's kind of how we reached out and brought the cast together. So.
But you certainly were able to do it, and. Which of your films, other than Big Ass Spider, what would you say is like where should one start in the Mike Mendes oeuvre?
The Mike Mendes oeuvre. Well, my first film was called Killers. That sadly is not on DVD right now. I'm trying to work on get the rights back to get it back out there. But I think what put me on the map as far as the kind of horror genre is a movie called The Convent with Adrienne Barbeau, and that is kind of the beginning of my horror comedy.
When was that?
Works. That was 2000. And then following that was my film. I tried to be a little more serious with, and probably failed. Called The Grave Dancers. And then we have this.
So wait, tell me about working with Adrienne Barbeau, because we've had her on the show. And
Adrienne rocks. She's awesome. I've been super blessed. I'm trying to think here. I can't. Even when I've had a negative actor experience, it's really not that bad. I mean, I have, many director friends that tell me horror stories about working with people, but I've been very lucky. I've been, honestly, most of the actors I've worked with have just been a joy, and Adrienne is certainly another one that was, just awesome.
We talked about, we couldn't help, we talked about the Barboobs with her. She has,
the Barboobs, nice.
Her cleavage is just
legendary.
To be reckoned with.
Yeah,
it really
totally.
Is, I
don't know if still,
Yes.
Yeah.
As of 3-4 years ago, maybe? When was the artist still alive? 5 years ago, maybe?
Yeah, about 5
Let's
years
say
ago,
5. As of 5 years ago,
she's in her
they're real and they're
mid-60s.
spectacular. Yes, whatever she was wearing to keep them where they were supposed to be. They
Good for
just
her.
like, way to go. She's very sexy.
Yeah,
lady,
totally.
you know?
No, she plays an awesome motorcycle riding, shotgun wielding demon ass kicker in the convent.
Okay,
Doria does that in real life.
Oh, nice.
that's my hobby. Yeah, I'll have to. I'll look
You have
for
to get
this.
tips from her. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I love that idea. But it's the convent.
The convent. Yeah, yeah.
What is that? What does the convent have to do with all?
It's about a haunted convent that has evil spirits that possess you and turn you into demonic nuns. So mainly there was an excuse to shoot nuns, because if you make
What's
them
not to
demons,
love?
you can get away with that,
I know.
So yeah.
They made them demons in the most recent Sound of Music Live. Actually, I think they're a little demonic.
Did they? Yeah.
Well, something along those lines. So, are there? You guys have been as I was saying before, Twitterverse has been so excited about Big Ass Spider, and it's been out there so much this week, and we're reading about it and things. Are there other things to keep the movie in people's eyes and get them out there? Is there any events
Well, we have a signing actually this Saturday at a store in Burbank called Dark Delicacies, and you can meet Greg Grunberg and Lombardo Boyar and Claire Kramer. Our most of the cast is going to be there. We're going to be selling DVDs and signing them and signing posters. So if you would like, come on out. That'll be fun. That's Dark Delicacies in Burbank. And then I believe, I don't know the exact date, we're leading up also to our television debut on Sci-Fi Channel. I think that's official now. I don't. Probably in
knock wood and keep my fingers crossed that it goes smoothly.
Hopefully, probably in March or April. I mean, that's kind of the goal with it at this point, is just to kind of keep it, in the consciousness and keep people talking about it, because it seems to be getting a bit of a life of its own. So obviously, we all want to encourage that and hope that continues.
Well, the title is green, and you're just like, oh, let's go. You want to see big? You see Big Ass Spider? Let's watch that. It's
hopefully, yeah. So I mean, people look down on it. I mean, I've never gotten so many backhanded compliments of like, this looks great, I can't wait to play it on my next shitty movie night, so or whatever. So it's always, it's just my life. It's just kind of that way. It's just, it's one of those things. I love the enthusiasm, but there's only so many times you could be referred to as a crappy movie, even though I get it. It is a giant spider movie, I understand, but you roll with it, and I just like that people are talking about it. So if they refer to it as a crappy movie or not, I'm just happy they're talking. So.
and they definitely are. One last question: most absolute favorite horror movie or a non-horror movie of all time for you?
Evil Dead 2 is probably the reason I make horror movies, and I love the tone and the kind of pace of it. That and Raiders of the Lost Ark are my favorite.
Okay, I was going to say what the non-horror one. All right,
yeah.
Raiders.
And then if I want scary, I'd go The Exorcist.
Yeah, were you raised Catholic?
Yes.
Okay, that's fine.
That explains it, right? Yeah, totally.
Yeah, because other people are like, it's funny. It's like, it's not funny.
No, it's not funny.
It's horrifying. And you'll wake up in the middle of the night.
I laughed all the way through it.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my God, I don't know. I don't know what it is about the movie. It gets under your skin.
I'm telling you, I'm telling you,
you have to be raised with an idea of the devil, I think.
It must be because I don't get scared at anything, but somehow demonic stuff. If I see like a statue of Satan or creepy demonic things, oh my God, that gives me the heebie-jeebies.
I'm telling you, Dory, it's a Catholic
I know.
thing.
I've
even if you're not a
done
Catholic
that.
anymore, whether you are or not, you're still just sort of like, oh, that's going to freak the shit out of me.
Right.
I just am not going to be able to handle this.
I think it's great. I mean, I think it still holds up and is the landmark of horror still. So
I just hope that I never meet a big ass spider, because I have my house in New Jersey that we spend half our time at is it's the kingdom of the spiders. When I go in there, it's just like, oh my God, what are you doing while I'm gone? It's just that.
I don't think anyone likes the particularly big ones. I'm fortunate. I don't have too much an issue with spiders. We did some silly reality show called Monster Man when we were shooting the movie, and they brought out live spiders for us to play with, because it would make good TV or whatever. And they got loose, and so we had poisonous spiders actually kind of leap out on us, and I was okay with that. What I can't deal with are rats, which is probably why I live on the West Coast and not the East Coast. So
yeah, because rats, you're just sort of you're on your way to like one of the greatest meals of your life, and a rat crosses that's as big as your dog.
Oh, and it's nothing over there. Yeah, I had my big horror story, because I always get asked what's my big spider story, and I don't have one, but I did have a rat leap out at me from the toilet. It actually swam up while I was peeing.
Where?
It was in Hollywood.
Okay, good. It was here and not New York. I don't want to blame New York for that.
No. That was actually LA.
A rat.
Yes. A rat swam up from the sewer, through the toilet, almost got a golden shower. It was the most horrifying experience of my life.
I would never recover.
It still kind of scarred me.
Mike
honestly.
Mendez has never peed again.
Never. I'm holding it. I'm yellow right now.
Mike Mendez, thanks for coming to see us. The movie is Big Ass Spider. Is there a website we could send people to?
Sure. There's bigasspider.com, or you can like us on Facebook or follow us on Twitter. So,
Perfect. Thanks for coming to see us, and congratulations on the success. The movie, get it. Big Ass Spider. You can get it today. We return to the Frank Show. More fun here on Sirius XM OutQ.
Dirty Pop with Lance Bass. Pop culture, music, nightlife.
When we come back, we're going to play a little game called Kickstart or Kickstart. No, stop. What? Oh, what? What did I say? Kickstart or Kickstop?
No, don't
You said
Kickstart or Kickstart.
You're going to play Monopoly or Monopoly.
On your mark and on your mark.
Dirty Pop with Lance Bass.
Weeknights, 6 p.m. East, 3 West. Here.
My business was losing money because I was wasting time searching through all my paperwork and computer files.
I had boxes of papers all over my house. I couldn't find anything.
Then I got the neat digital filing system. Now all my documents are organized in one place.
With the Neat system, the boxes are gone, and I can find anything I want in just seconds.
Now I'm making money instead of wasting time.
My life is totally organized.
The Neat digital filing system organizes all your printed paperwork and computer files in just seconds in one tidy, easy-to-find digital place. You simply have to try Neat to see how simple it can be. And now you can try the Neat system for free just by calling 1-800-942-9265. Not only can you organize all your documents in seconds, you can find anything you want in just seconds, too, just by typing one word. Try the Neat system yourself for free. Just call 1-800-942-9265. 1-800-942-9265. That's 1-800-942-9265.
Are you looking for a hotel deal? I'm Bob Diener, president of GetARoom.com, and I've got some amazing deals for you. In New York City, near Times Square, the upscale Ace Hotel from $127 a night. In Orlando, 50% off the Avanti Resort. In Anaheim, 30% off the Annabella. In Boston, the Midtown from $83 a night. In San Diego, the Sophia from $96 a night. In Vegas, a huge deluxe suite from $89 a night. Go to GetARoom.com.
Because we know what you boys really like to do in the dark.
Don't let anything interfere with your selfish pleasure. Just go to the movies. All right, I will.
Here's the latest big screen news on the Frank DeCARO Show on OutQ.
Yes, it's Frank DeCARO and Doria Biddle live in Los Angeles. You've been following our show. The first part was about big ass sweatpants, okay, on Justin Theroux in The Leftovers, and the second part was about a big ass spider. So it's just some big ass stuff here on the show today, and I hope you're enjoying it. So now it's movie news time, Doria, and so we'll have to see. There's a new Judd Apatow helmed comedy starring Amy Schumer. She could not be hotter. Do you like Amy Schumer?
Yeah, she's very funny.
Yeah, I don't know too much about her.
On when she was on Last Comic Standing.
Yeah, she's like smoking. I mean, like, people are just like falling all over themselves to love her big time. But it's her feature film debut. And so anyway, she did that sketch comedy show on Comedy Central. People were like, oh, wow. And that's coming back in April for a second season. But there's a Judd Apatow movie. Excuse me. I'm just going to trip over my words today. And it's coming. So it's cool. So they were saying that...
He's producing it, right? She wrote it.
Well, it says Apatow helmed. So what does that mean? I would assume that means directed. Yeah. So they're hoping that Amy Schumer will be sort of the one who's sort of the Kristen Wiig, Melissa McCarthy, Lena Dunham, boom, Amy Schumer. They're hoping that she'll be like the girl who does it. It's called Trainwreck, and Amy Schumer wrote it, and Universal's going to do it, and it was developed with Judd Apatow. And so that's
one of those scary titles where it's like you just hope the critics like it, because you're setting yourself up for all kinds of critical fun with the title Trainwreck.
Yeah. So if it's good, they'll say Trainwreck-alicious, right? Isn't that a Perez Hilton expression? Trainwreck-alicious. Why do I know that,
Because we discussed it on the show.
I know, but why does that? But I'm just saying, why did that stick though? How much stuff did we?
Because it's a fun word.
I guess, but I couldn't remember. I was sitting there going, did Ray Wise do our show, or do I just love him? I was trying to explain to publicists last night that we've had so many people in the last 10 years on the show that I was like,
can't
I
remember
was like,
who we
either
had.
we had them on the show, I met them at a party, or I just adore them. It's like those are the three choices, and I honestly don't remember which it is. I think we did have Ray Wise in. I'm almost positive.
Yeah, we did. He was in studio with me.
Yeah, that's what it was.
That's
I
why
didn't
you
get to
don't
see
remember.
him. Yeah, is he cute in person? He's cute, right? In that demonic kind of way.
Dapper and dashing. He was in, I believe, a 3-piece suit.
Yeah.
If it wasn't a 3-piece suit, it was a very tailored,
very natty,
nice suit. Yes.
He's got that. So he's in that category like with Robert Wagner, where it's like they're very sexy, but they're a little too dapper, a little sell you your soul.
I don't care who you find sexy anymore.
I'm not saying sexy.
Frank,
I'm just saying it's
all you want to talk about.
I know it's true. I'm too tired to do anything about it, though. You know.
Well,
and Jim
you're
is
also too married to do anything about it.
Jim is sort of like, you know, he's in the he's having a get off me moment because it's like I'm sick, you know. So it's well, the show's like stay on your own side. That's what they don't tell you is really the what it's like to be married. You know, you say, "Ooh, baby," but
you
it really
were
is,
like this before you were.
Yeah, I know, but stay on your own side is ultimately what it comes. Stay on your own side. Stop bothering me. Sort of where it goes.
Fascinating.
Back to it's true. True. Telling people what it's like to be gay married. You know, it's true, or just married. But so this is an interesting thing. We're talking about that we're supposed to do movie news now, even though I went 50 different directions as I want to do. I had no idea. There is an incomplete Alfred Hitchcock documentary on the Holocaust. I'd never heard of this.
Never heard of it either. It's fascinating.
Yeah. They say that it includes some quote-unquote truly shocking footage. What's truly shocking about the Holocaust at this point?
Yeah, I mean, that's
if it looks like Club Med, it's got to be shocking, you know? It's sort of like if it looks like everything you've ever heard, you're like, oh my God, it's awful.
But that's what I was like, oh God, now what?
truly shocking footage. Up, it's 11:45. Everyone turn. It's time for you know. They missed you with a little Evian water, and you're fine. And it's not that. So anyway, but they say that it's being finished and restored by London's Imperial War Museum, and then it's going to air on British TV next year. It's hard to believe when you look at 2015. You're like, oh, that is next year, isn't it? Have you written down 2014 yet?
Mm-hmm.
I haven't written it on anything.
I paid my rent.
Yeah, but I do it online. I do, but I do it online. So you just click, you know, it tells you what day it is. But I haven't written down 2014 yet. But yeah, next year in 2015. Aye. So anyway, it's going to coincide with the 70th anniversary of the liberation of Europe, and of course, the end of World War II. And they're going to do a making of documentary called Night Will Fall. It is being produced in conjunction with the movie, and then they're going to both release them in theaters. The original documentary is titled Memory of the Camps. They filmed it in 1945. It was never released because there were production problems, according to the story, and political pressures. This is all according to PBS's Frontline. And so we'll see. They aired an unedited, incomplete version in 1985 because a researcher found it in the Imperial War Museum's vaults. And so that was what they called it, Memory of the Camps. And now they haven't named whatever the new version is going to be, but they're digitally restoring it, and there's going to be footage that wasn't in the 85 version. And apparently, Hitchcock collaborated on it with Sidney Bernstein, and so there was apparently there were troubles between the two of them at the time. And so they said Hitchcock was supposed to shape the way the documentary was presented. And so they'll see. Anyway, but they said that he was so traumatized. This is a weird thing. Hitchcock was so traumatized, they said he stayed away from the Pinewood studio for a week. He was so traumatized by the footage that he saw.
The footage was shot by British Army cameramen. So Hitchcock basically was not on site. He was back in London, and they would show him the footage, and this is what freaked him out.
Well, they would show, when you were in school, I mean, that, you know, I always said, oh, we didn't get to World War II. There was a point where you did get to, you know, they did show us Holocaust documentaries. And it was hard. I don't know if that was high school or college. I don't remember when we got to it. But it's horrifying. And you'd see that footage of bodies just being, you know, forklifted and bulldozed and, ugh, you know, and it's you know, so it's horrifying. And yet, if you don't see it, you don't really believe it. And they don't really tell. The other times that there have been these stories in you know, in our culture, in the world, it's like we don't really hear as much about them. But it's like sadly,
They go on all over.
sadly, they go on all over the place, and they continue to go on, and it's all, it's like details, even out of our own, our own lives. Things like in the AIDS epidemic, people being tossed out in garbage bags, and it was, that we don't even think about that. We're like, oh, that didn't really happen. No, it really did. So it's vile. So anyway, but they are saying that this Hitchcock documentary, they said, judging by the 2 test screenings we've had for colleagues, experts, and film historians, what struck me was that they found it extremely disturbing. And that's from the Imperial War Museum curator Toby Haggith. And he was talking to the New Zealand Herald. And he said it's both an alienating film in terms of its subject matter, but also one that has a deep humanity and empathy about it. So we'll definitely have to keep our eyes peeled for whatever that is and see if they go by the original title, Memory of the Camps. But I don't think they will. That doesn't sound like they'll call it that, does it? They'll give it a catchy, Now it would have to be Camps, with an exclamation point to catch people's attention. I hope they don't do that. That's naughty. When we return to the Frank Show, I shouldn't have said that. Camps! Well, say it again. We return to the Frank Show. More fun here on Sirius XM Out. More fun after the Holocaust documentary. I just have to stop talking.
It's Ed Lover from the Ed Lover Show on Backspin. Backspin is different because the music is hand-picked by me and a team of people that really, really care and really, really know classic hip-hop. I don't just like this music. I'm not just some DJ that they bought it from the street. They brought me in here because of my expertise and my love of the music. Classic hip-hop. It's our life, so we bring it to you every day on Backspin. Sirius XM, Channel 46. Come on, son!
East Coast Wellness can change your life.
Hi, my name is April Wagner. 19 years ago, my husband Bob needed to replace his income, and I was tired of working full-time and not being able to raise my 3 boys. We started our wellness business and replaced Bob's income our first year and mine the second. We've earned millions since starting and now have the time freedom to travel the world, play tennis, and attend our boys' baseball games. Have you realized that after working 5, 10, 15 years that you're not earning what you're worth? Do you get up, go to work, come home, only to do it all again the next day? If your life and your bank account are leaving you empty and tired, you need to make a change. We are now expanding nationally and looking for hard-working, motivated people who are not afraid to make a change. When we team up with those people, the opportunity for success is phenomenal.
Call East Coast Wellness now at 888-216-1909. That's 888-216-1909.
I run my business from home. I can respond to emails in my PJs, but my clients don't know that. While some entrepreneurs might have nightmares about their kids answering important calls, I don't worry. I've got my secret weapon, Regis.
With the Regis Virtual Office, you get personalized call answering in your company's name, a prestigious business address, access to meeting rooms, and use of a private office. It's all the benefits of a full-time office, just without the cost. Get 1 month free when you visit regis.com/radio now or call 1-800-OFFICES.
Because sequins are always correct.
It works, Bruce. It works.
It's the backless glamour of the Frank DeCARO Show. Live from New York and Los Angeles.
Yes, it's Frank DeCARO and Doria Biddle live in Los Angeles. Gonzo the Great back in New York City. New York City. He's bringing us together now to you via the magic of satellite radio. Sirius XM out to Q. Your fun source for all that is pop culture and wrapped in silliness. That's what we do. So Miss Biddle, I do you think that was Target trying to tell me something? I bought a shirt, this red shirt, and it's kind of what color would you say this is, Doria? Oxblood? Is that kind of the color? I mean, what would you say? It's like a burgundy color, right? Yeah. Okay. Burgundy, it's whatever. It was called Rubenesque Red was the name of the color. Okay? Rubenesque. Not Dave Rubenesque. Rubenesque, like
rounded.
Like round, like well-rounded, like curvy, curvaceous.
I don't really know how a color can be.
On me, it could be Rubenesque black. It could be Rubenesque navy. Rubenesque paisley. It could be anything. It doesn't matter. But no, it was Rubenesque. Because remember, and I was harking back. Remember that time? Didn't that woman? Didn't they have manatee gray and like large size clothes at Target that time? Remember?
Yes,
Manatee gray was the name of it.
And
They
I
need to
told
come
you
up
to
with
get it.
slimmer.
But that makes sense because a manatee is great, but something that's Rubenesque.
Now, wait a minute. What about on the Partridge Family? Did Reuben Kincaid have red hair? I can't remember. No, he was blonde, right? Danny Partridge had.
Yes.
So maybe it should be Danny Partridge-esque red is what it should say. But he had carrot color, not this burgundy color. But I'm having a burgundy moment lately. I don't know what that's about. I bought those. I told you I bought corduroy pants, and the color was called raisin, and they're kind of like that reddish raisiny color. And Jim was like, "They're horrible." The moment I put them on, I was like, "What do you think of these?" He says, "They're horrible." And I was like, "What do you think they're horrible?" And he's like, "Well, A, I don't like corduroy, which I love corduroy." And I was like, and B, he's like, he said, "Are you trying to be like the seventh Brady?" And I was like, you know, you kind of do look like the Brady kid when you're wearing it. You know, it's a little, you know, like Alice has gotten into the Brady kid's wardrobe. I said to myself, I said, I'm going to order a fringe vest to go along with it. So I'll wear a cute little fringe vest. Did you have a fringe vest when you were a kid?
No.
Really? I
have one now.
A fringe vest?
No, it's not fringe. I went to a party where you had to dress like, wear 70s type clothes. And I bought it's like crochet and leather patches.
Oh, wear it tomorrow. Oh, that sounds cute. Wear it tomorrow. No, I
don't even know where it is.
I had an ultra suede fringe vest when I was before pre-teen even.
Mm-hmm.
Ultra suede fringe vest with a Mickey Mouse applique that my friend Heidi's mother bought us. Lois, God rest her soul. I loved Lois. I loved her mother. Lived her mother. And but she brought us these fringe vests. Oh, it was so good. And then my aunt made me a fake snakeskin vest. And she found snakeskin vinyl, and she made me a groovy little vest when I was a kid, so I could wear like a turtleneck and then like love beads or something over it, like sort of doing a hippie dippy kind of thing. And so it was really fun. And then there was enough vinyl left over that I made a camera case. Isn't that good? I had a matching vest. You don't get that often a lot,
No, you don't.
A matching vest and camera case. Maybe like Jonathan Adler needs to do that now. That'd be like people. What are people champing at the bit for? They'd like a vest that matches their camera case. I guess you could do it with an iPhone. You could do like an iPhone that matches your outfit. That would make sense.
I'm sure people have done that.
I'm sure they do that. But it's like, the fake snakeskin vinyl was really heaven. It was like fake python, and he was green and black. Oh, it would be perfect to wear. It'd be the kind of thing you'd wear to Big Ass Spider, if you're going to see it. You know, could definitely be good. If you guys, if you would like, it would be so swanky swell if you would follow us on the Twitter at Frank DeCARO Show and at Doria Biddle. You can follow Gonzo at The Mighty Beast. And also, you can like us on Facebook.
America's only LGBT radio station. Available on demand and on the SiriusXM mobile app for smartphones. SiriusXM Out Q109. It starts here.
Calling all makeup lovers. Bare Minerals Foundation just won its 9th Glammy Award for Best Prestige Foundation. And to celebrate, we're offering risk-free trials to all women nationwide. That's right. Every woman who calls right now can get a full-size risk-free trial of our #1 selling foundation. Plus, a free 5-piece makeup set. For yours, call 1-800-953-6233. This is an exclusive radio-only offer you don't want to miss. Bare Minerals Foundation gives you flawlessly beautiful coverage with a no-makeup feel. And it's clinically proven to promote clearer, healthier-looking skin for all skin types. No wonder it's won 9 Glammys in a row. And now you can try it for yourself. Call now to find out how you can participate in our nationwide risk-free trial and join the millions who've already tried Bare Minerals Foundation and fallen in love with their skin again. Plus, we'll send you a free 5-piece makeup set, our gift to you. Hurry, don't miss this exclusive radio-only offer. 1-800-953-6233. 1-800-953-6233.
Ain't nothing wrong with being a little gay. Everybody's a little gay.
Hey everyone, it's Jorge Olivares here on SiriusXM Out here with a quick look at what's trending. Now, the controversy continues at East Side Catholic High School outside of Seattle, Washington, which made headlines last month after it fired its gay vice principal when they found out he married his husband. Well, the school's president, Sister Mary Tracy, sent a note to students. Here it is, read by King 5 reporter.
I look forward to the day where no individual loses their job because they're married to a person of the same sex.
Meanwhile, a lesbian freelance drama coach is trying to figure out what this all means for her.
Obviously, what I'm hoping for is that the kids get what they want, which is change.
The school itself has since gone radio silent. Now I want you to go to HuffingtonPost.com/gay voices and read the op-ed written by Michelangelo Signorelli, in which he denounces these so-called holier-than-thou lectures about when it's appropriate for media outlets to out somebody like U.S. Representative Aaron Schock. The Michelangelo Signorelli Show airs on Sirius XM Progress 127.
Brace yourself for pop culture at warp speed.
When I throw that switch, the noise will become excruciating.
It's the Frank DeCARO Show, featuring Doria Biddle. Live from New York and Los Angeles.
Shortly following that, your brains will be turned into
That's what we do. That's our goal here on the Frank Show. We're live in Los Angeles, Miss Doria Biddle and I. She's the last of the famous international playboys. That's what I've decided this week. Back in New York City, Gonzo the Great bringing us together and out to you via the magic of satellite radio. Sirius XM out Q. You're gay home away from home. You don't have to be gay. We're gay enough for everybody. So don't feel, if you say, what the hell am I doing on the gay channel? You're all right. Just relax about it. You don't freak out. I won't freak out. It'll all be fine. We'll have a lovely time of it. So Doria, any football news? Because you were a lot of stuff going on. We were telling me there was that gay yesterday. We were talking about it's gay, not a gay, gay, not a gay.
I have not heard any new news about Aaron Rodgers.
Do they do they play tonight again? Or are we done with football now?
No, it's playoffs.
So it's
playoffs
big football time. But not tonight?
Football. No, not tonight.
I thought Thursday was big football night, usually.
Not anymore, Frank.
Well,
it's over. The regular season is over. It's all about the playoffs.
Now, do we know who's going to the Super Bowl, or we don't know yet?
No, that's what the playoffs determine.
All right. So who's in the running?
All right. Let's see. So far, I know Indianapolis and New England play.
Okay. So wait, that's Indianapolis, the Colts.
Yes.
And Patriots.
Yes.
I got it. That's 2 for 2. All right. Who else?
San Diego and Denver.
Chargers still? Is that what they call them?
Yes.
Denver Broncos.
Yes.
Okay. Good.
San Francisco and Carolina.
49ers and the Whiff Tickles. No, who's Carolina? I don't know.
Panthers.
I don't know that. That must be new. That wasn't around when I was a kid, or I would have heard of it.
No. New Orleans and Seattle.
Saints and Seahawks.
Right.
Did I get it right?
Yeah.
Oh, good. Seahawks was a stretch. I didn't really know that one. Wait, so we have 8 teams still in contention?
Yes.
And so, there's 8 teams, 4 games. So then we get down to 4.
Yeah, these are still division playoffs, and then we get to the conference, and then we get to the Super Bowl.
Well, how soon before the Super Bowl do we know who's going to be in the Super Bowl?
A week. They take a week off. They'll have one weekend of no football. Well, they'll have the Pro Bowl, but nobody watches that because it stinks.
Why? Is that people who were?
It's like the All-Star game.
But is it old timers or?
No. It's current players, but
garbage.
But there are no plays. They're
no defense.
They're all basically just. Nobody wants to get injured. It's scary.
Oh, so it's just kind of it's a walkthrough.
Yeah.
Why do they do that? Do they sell? There must be people watch it. I guess.
They like the idea of it being an all-star game. In other sports, you can actually have an all-star game where people will play hard, but football is a contact sport, and nobody wants to get injured in the all-star game. That'd be a disaster.
Yeah, isn't that?
And no coach wants to give their plays out, so they're all really rudimentary plays, and
then why do they persist? Do they sell ad time? Does it do well that way?
They're trying to find a way to make it more profitable, but because it really isn't what it could be, because true football fans don't enjoy it.
But the idea of the All-Star game, is that sort of because God forbid there should be a week where there's nothing? Is that the idea? Or?
No, well, it used to be it would take place after.
After the Super Bowl?
Yeah.
Who would care after the Super Bowl?
Because that's the other thing. A lot of the All-Stars are in the Super Bowl, so they opt out because they don't want to get injured.
Oh, so they don't even play?
They don't even play.
But the players liked it because it would be in Hawaii, so they'd get a trip to Hawaii for their families.
Players go.
That's why the players like it.
Oh, but is that where they have it?
Yes.
So will they sit around and so you basically, if you're in the Super Bowl, you go and you have a nice little weekend in Hawaii, and then you go to New Jersey and you
No,
sit.
you don't go. If you're in the Super Bowl, you do not go to Hawaii. You do not go to the...
Oh, you don't get to go. You just say, oh, I don't.
They just changed it. It used to be the
it's
game
not.
was after.
I don't want to go. I've got to prepare for the Super Bowl. They're working their butts off. They're not just kicking back.
Well, what are you going to do? If you're already
They're
that good, you get to the Super Bowl.
game.
Oh, all right. Do players do that, or does the coach do that?
Both.
Really?
The players have to learn the plays. They get these huge, thick notebooks before games with plays.
Okay.
It's like learning a script, Frank.
Really?
Yes.
But it's not fake like wrestling.
No, because you've got plays that the other team doesn't know about.
How many plays could there be, though?
How many plays?
No, I mean,
can
it's
there
like,
be?
how many, after all these years, how can you surprise anybody? Ooh, let's go there. I'm serious. I don't know. They're not trying to be a jerk. I just don't know
football. It's a chess match that you are trying to do things that the other side does not anticipate. You've got to find a way to disguise the plays because the other defense, they've seen a lot of these plays. So the defense is reading what's going on with the offense. As they're lining up, you see people running around and they're reacting. They're trying to figure out what's going on. And the offense is trying to mislead them.
Now, do they have names for these? Like, they're plays
they do.
Like the San Francisco sniff and run or something? Do they go, run? You know, it's their...
Yes, they have plays like the San Francisco sniff and run.
No,
That's exactly
what do they call? What do they call them? Seriously, what do they call them?
I don't know.
They don't say.
Yeah, a lot of them are, they're various codes, and all the teams use different kind of codes. You see the coaches on the sidelines, when they're calling plays, they cover their mouths so that if somebody is watching them, you can't hire a lip reader to say, he's about to run a blah, blah, blah.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, it's interesting. I don't know anything about
It's a lot more complicated than football novices can possibly understand.
Yeah, no, I just thought they'd all line up and now it's, oh, look, there's a spot there. I'll throw it there.
That's why it was such a big deal that the New England Patriots videotaped other team practices.
Are they allowed to do that?
No.
So they clandestine
Yes.
did it?
That's why
just so they could
Bill
win.
Belichick.
Oh. Well, that's kind of stinky.
Yeah.
It's like espionage.
Yeah.
It's crime versus, or was it spy versus spy?
It's cheating. It's unsportsmanlike conduct.
That's yucky.
Yeah.
Why would someone do that? I had no idea.
win.
I had no idea any of this was that important. I really
What
thought,
do you mean, important?
I just thought it was like you'd show up on Sunday, you'd stand there,
You thought that they
just
put
happened.
no effort into
I
it.
thought it was the same-
That's not whether or not it's important. You thought there wasn't so much effort put in.
No, I thought you'd show up, everyone would stand in the line and say, do that thing. All right, good. And then they would do it.
See?
That would be it.
Why do you think that a lot of really smart people love football so much?
They're deluded. I don't know why they like. Why does anyone like anything?
But
I don't know why anyone likes anything that I don't like. I don't know. I got confused. I thought it made sense to you. And I kind of thought it was, honestly, and this is bad, apparently not. I thought it was mindless entertainment. I thought it was like, it must be just fun.
Oh my God.
A lot of people yelling and screaming. Yay! Go us.
I mean, that's
Not us, it's
one
them.
of the. It's mentally exhausting. It's.
Do you have any idea why it appeals to you as much as it does?
I think it appeals to me because there's so much to think about. I don't. I tend to really like things that I can sink my teeth into, and that's one of the reasons why I love football so much, because there's so much to think about while I'm watching it. You're not just sitting. It's not a passive experience. It's.
But how is it not a passive experience?
For me, one of my favorite. It's like the difference between watching, people who really love mysteries because they're trying to figure out the clues. You know, you can actively engage in it, or you can just sit back and be like, well, that was a surprise. I didn't see this person as the murderer. You know, there are different ways of watching it. And for me, what I love about watching football and what makes it a more fulfilling experience is the depth of things that are going on at any given moment.
So do you sit there and think, oh, I bet at the next play they'll do this? Do you? I mean, is it that kind of thing? Or you say,
yeah,
oh,
that's
it'd be
part
good
of
if
it.
they would if Tubby Two by Four goes left, and
Well,
then
you know how
Refrigerator
many
Perry
times
goes right, and then
you know how many
whatever.
times
Yeah.
somebody I've said, you know what I haven't seen in a long time. I haven't seen a good reverse, and then boom, somebody does a reverse, and you know things like that you. It's because you kind of get into the rhythm of the game and you get a sense of what would really work right now. What do they need right now based on how much they have to go and what's been working and what hasn't been working. And my ideal job, if I could just start all over, clean slate, I would love to be a coach, an NFL coach. That would be heaven for me. I would love, love, love that. And I'm nowhere near smart enough to do it, but I would love to do it. I think it would be such a cool job.
See, if we had gym teachers who were more engaging when we were kids, and made us feel better about physical activities and things, we might have come around to actually understand. Because I really thought it was like something for muscleheads to do. You know, I mean, that was sort of like, it's like I can't. I was always like, well, if you're a
My
football
gym
coach,
teachers didn't teach me to love football. My parents did.
My father loved football.
And I did.
My father loved football, and I would just be like, ugh.
Shall we go to the phones and talk to David in Boston? Hi, David.
Hi,
You're on the
David.
Frank DeCARO Show. I can't hear David.
Hello?
David?
There you are. Hi, David.
Hi, guys. Yeah, just really quick, Doria, I just want to do a shout-out. I live literally, like, maybe 5 miles from Gillette Stadium, and, of course, I have to be a Patriots fan because I'm from here, but I mean, my dad took off when I was little, and I never really learned, football. I just kind of put on the act sometimes in front of guys to, look butch or whatever. But the most I've learned about football is, like, every year I go to a giant Super Bowl party with all my lesbian friends, and just, like, every girl I know is into football, and none of my gay friends watch football. So I just want to say thank you for teaching Frank and I about football a little bit at a time.
Well, thank you, David. No problem. I mean, out here I watch with a lot of gay men. I watch with more gay men than gay women. And
Really?
and ever since, and I don't really understand why that is, because when I lived in New York, for that horrible year, I wanted to find a place to watch the Super Bowl with gays, and everybody looked at me like I was betraying all of my people. They were like, gays don't watch sports, and there was this.
I know gays watch sports, but it's upsetting to me that it's not their secret shame. It's that they're out and proud about loving sports. It's just like, oh.
But like Doria says, it's so fascinating, and there are so many different plays, and I just wish I could just sit down with someone and say, not everything at once, but just like, this is how it works, but it's like, it just doesn't happen in my circle of people. So I guess I'm going to have to look for some new people to...
I want to meet people who like...
visit me in L.A., David, and we'll watch football together.
In P-Town this summer, I'll come and say hi.
Oh, that's a big if. We'll see. But if we're due, yeah. Oh, we didn't get to go last year. Oh, they're chintzy old travel budget with their iron fist and closing that up. Yeah.
Stay warm in Boston, in Foxborough, David.
Sponsors. I'll find you some sponsors. Tell Paul and Matt get out his wallet.
Yeah, Paul and Mass, do it. Thanks a lot, I'll take
All right, thanks, David. Trucker Robert. Hi, you're on the Frank DeCARO Show.
Well, I learned football because being an only child on the weekends, I had to entertain myself in wintertime when I couldn't go out. And all there was pretty much was sports on the weekends, so I got my heavy dose in education of football. And, I don't think people realize the complexities of that game if you're just watching on the surface level. There's so much going on. There's so many strategies going on. You almost can't keep up with it if you really try, but that's how I learned. But the one thing as a football watcher, a gay football watcher, that really pisses me off is when someone asks you, I bet you love watching those guys in those tight pants. And I always tell them, look, yes, I have my crush on Evan Vinatieri, but as a general rule, I could care less what they're wearing. I could care less how tight their pants are or anything else. But I'm watching the game. I'm watching the game, and what they look like doesn't mean a hell of a beat. I actually care about the game.
It's not about that, even though
The sexual thing at all. That's the I hear a lot, and I get sick of trying to defend it because it's like, guys, you have to like football to appreciate it, but it's not sexual. Never has been.
Yeah. Now soccer is different because they're always falling out of their outfits in soccer. It's like, oh, there are your balls. You know.
Anyway, thanks.
Bye, TR.
Thanks, Trucker Robert. Let's go to Curtis in San Francisco. Hi, Curtis.
Hello. I really feel bad for Frank. The delight and lilt in your voice is gone. This conversation about football is sucking the life out of you.
He's the one who's continuing it.
I brought it up.
He's been grilling me about it.
Oh, well, I missed the beginning of the conversation. Frank, you shouldn't have brought it up because it's killing you. And it's making me want to enroll in the reparative therapy program.
It's fascinating to me, the way something like this, there are lots of things I don't enjoy, but it's as if you're being bludgeoned.
But honest. But look at how many people are like, I hate musicals. I mean, come on, the vehemence with which a lot of
I don't find
people
the same reaction because I'm not into musicals at all either. Most of them I cannot sit through, but I don't turn into a fragile little
Drama Club wasn't as traumatizing for most people as gym class was.
Yeah, but how often were you playing football in gym class?
Oh, it didn't matter. Just the entire experience.
Thanks, Curtis. We'll move on eventually.
All I have to hear
is the
is
therapist.
Yeah. When I hear medicine ball, it's enough to make me faint. Just for anything.
You had medicine balls in your gym class?
Medicine ball.
Were you going to school in the 50s? Ginger in Pittsburgh. You're on the Frank DeCARO Show. Hi, Ginger.
Ginge.
Hi. Hello. This is my first time calling you. I'm from Pittsburgh, and I grew up in the 1970s with the Super Stillers,
the Iron Curtain.
Steel Curtain.
Steel Curtain, that's it, yeah.
So, I'm gay, and I love football, and who taught me to love football was my entire city in the 1970s, because you couldn't live in Pittsburgh in the 70s and not love the Stillers. I mean, how many people even heard of Pittsburgh until the Stillers became a good football team?
Is there any kind of gay community, sports community in Pittsburgh?
Not that I found. In fact, I'm the only gay person I know who watches any kind of professional sports. And so my gay women friends think I've betrayed everything they stand for. My feminist friends think, oh, my God, how can you watch that? It exploits women. And look, I love football, and I make no apologies for it. So I was thrilled to hear you and Frank discuss this.
Well, thank you, Ginger. I try to bring it up periodically because I'm insane for the sport, but I do get yelled at a lot.
She's only got a few more weeks of it, and then we're done.
I know, and then I go into serious, heavy depression. It's awful.
But then it's Oscars, it's award season. Please, we got Golden Globes coming up on Sunday. That I get excited about. It's like that. I think.
How unique! Thanks, Ginger.
Oh yeah, why? Because liking football is unique. Please.
Stanton in Austin. Well, you always talk about how unique and quirky and weird you are, Frank. I never say I'm unique or quirky or weird.
And you
Hi,
are.
Stanton.
She's unpleasant too. Add that to the list. Hi, Dolly. I'm sorry I missed you when you were in New York.
That's okay.
We haven't heard from you in ages, Stanton.
It has been a while.
I got a Post-it note. I did. I left it on my computer when I got home. It said, sorry I missed you, Stanton. It was like, sorry I missed you.
Now, I did love the Pittsburgh Stiller and Mira. Does that count?
Yes, actually.
Okay, so I do have a question.
Yes,
why are they yelling out numbers and colors?
Why are they what?
Yelling out numbers and colors.
Those are the signals they use to call the play.
Oh, so they don't know when they're in the huddle? I thought that's when they're talking about it.
Well, because they often they may change it. They'll give it's timing. It's deceiving the defense. It's super complex.
But they don't say, and they're not gossiping in the huddle.
He might get up there and call it, and then say red, and red means we're not doing that play. You know, it's crazy, and so people on the line.
Wait, but when they're in the huddle, do they not say things like, "Did you see the new cleats on Mary? What's with her?" Do they gossip or not?
They don't have time for
They don't have time for that?
No.
And
They
what,
have 30
Ain't nobody
seconds
got
to
time
get
for that.
back to the line and hike the ball, Frank.
and what's with, don't they say hut, hut, hut? Isn't that the
No,
word
it's
they
hike.
use?
Hike. It's not hike. It's hut.
It's hut, it's hike, it's whatever. Every quarterback has a totally different cadence. Sometimes the defense knows the cadence of the quarterback so well they will imitate it and get the quarterback's team to jump the play, because the offensive line is not allowed to move. They have to stand there like completely frozen. If they even flinch, it's a false start.
So when you're following the Dolphins, do you know when they say red that it means we're not doing it? I mean,
no, I don't know, but I can't possibly know, because then the defense would know, and they change it every week. They change it constantly.
But do the colors ever give away, like, whether someone's gay or not? Does anyone say,
yes, they
48
say,
puce? Does anyone ever do, you know?
I can't believe you just said please. That's what the